The film commenced in Burma in 1959, during a period when the country was still under French control. However, in the climactic final battle, the French were defeated, leading to their withdrawal from the region. Consequently, Burma found itself without a strong governing authority, and it became a haven for European and Vietnamese war criminals. In this tumultuous landscape, there existed a place known as Den Dinchan, a labor camp overseen by a man named Steiner, who was evading capture by German soldiers. One day, a prisoner named Martin Tillman was escorted to a small, grimy pond. To his surprise, Martin was coerced into engaging in a physical altercation with fellow prisoners. Although Martin's fight wasn't particularly challenging, as he managed to defeat his opponent with a few well-placed punches, Steiner observed the bout and instructed his henchman Restignek to eliminate Martin's victorious adversary. Subsequently, Restignek carried out Steiner's directive. After the fight, Martin returned to prison with 2 guards accompanying him. While traversing a small forest, they encountered Isabel, a woman from a nearby village. The guards harassed Isabel, sparking Martin's anger. In retaliation, he attacked the guards with his head. Once back in his cell on the highest floor, Martin discovered an intriguing fact. Isabel visited Steiner weekly, bringing him flowers. Intrigued, Martin questioned Isabel's motives. Instead of a direct answer, Isabel turned the query back on Martin, asking if he wanted flowers too. Impressed by Martin's defense of her, Isabel perceived him as a nice guy and believed he deserved similar kindness. Locked in prison, Martin remained silent in response to Isabel's question, showing no interest in receiving flowers. Meanwhile, in his office, Steiner received a report from his associate, Boone, about a man seeking to meet him. The visitor, Harrison, an English police agent, implored Steiner to release Martin, who was wanted in England for trial. Despite the legal troubles, Martin was valuable to Steiner, bringing in money and excelling as a fighter. Keen on retaining Martin, Steiner denied any knowledge of the prisoner. When Harrison inquired about Martin's whereabouts, Steiner feigned ignorance. Later, Martin found himself in Steiner's room, meeting 3 of Steiner's close friends. Restignek, formerly part of Spain's Special Forces, teamed up with Boone, a Vietnam Special Forces hero wrongly accused and now the most wanted person in Vietnam. Amarillo, an older exile from Berlin, completed the trio. Steiner planned to release Martin, who faced danger in the UK due to pending criminal charges. Concerned for Martin's safety, Steiner proposed they form a formidable group. Despite Steiner's confidence in his plan, Martin declined, determined to forge his path post-labor camp. Once released, Martin, lacking money and documents, grappled with uncertainty about his next steps, navigating an unfamiliar landscape with an unclear destination. In need of direction, Martin visited Isabel's house, meeting her stepfather, Valentine. Inquiring about Isabel's floral gestures to Steiner, Martin discovered Isabel's complicated family history. Steiner, Isabel's stepfather, accused Isabel's mom of betrayal and disowned Isabel. Undeterred, Isabel sent Steiner flowers, yearning for acceptance. Valentine, recognizing Martin's potential, offered him a job at his bar. As Martin embraced this new opportunity, his life transformed into a haven of tranquility. Amid the calm, a romantic bond blossomed between Martin and Isabel. One bustling evening at Valentine's bar, a scuffle erupted among patrons. Valentine called on Martin to intervene, marking a pivotal moment in his newfound peaceful existence. Challenged to a fight, Martin effortlessly triumphed against the assailants who joined in. The directive was clear: staged shots, no real harm. The following day, Boone and Restignek visited the bar, revealing that the man Martin fought was one of Steiner's fighters, now incapacitated. Steiner blamed Martin for the vacancy and offered substantial payment for a replacement fighter. Declining the proposition, Martin resisted becoming a fighter. Restignek, in response, threatened Martin with eviction if he didn't comply. After their departure, Martin confided in Valentine, feeling burdened by the unfolding events, unsure whether he had inadvertently brought trouble to the tranquil haven of the bar. With luck favoring those around him, Valentine advised Martin to comply with Steiner's request, deeming it the optimal choice. With Valentine's endorsement, Martin bid his farewells and headed straight to Steiner's office. There he was ushered to the fighting arena, where numerous bets were placed on the matches. Initiating the first bout, Martin skillfully defeated his opponent, prompting successive challenges. Despite the continuous fights, Martin emerged victorious each time, generating substantial earnings for Steiner's group through the wagers. Meanwhile, Harrison appeared at the bar, seeking Martin. In a conversation with Valentine, Harrison disclosed his pursuit of Martin, creating an air of impending trouble. A fugitive seeking vengeance for his family's deaths in battle, Martin had killed individuals in England, prompting Harrison's pursuit. Harrison disclosed a £10,000 reward for information on Martin's whereabouts. Valentine, concealing Martin's recent departure from the bar, rejected the reward, urging Harrison to depart. Post-fights, Steiner extended an invitation for a drink and conversation. Proposing a lucrative partnership in organized fights, Steiner offered Martin a substantial reward for his triumphs. One day, as Steiner typed his emotions on an antiquated typewriter, he candidly admitted Isabel was his daughter. The revelation added a layer of complexity to the intricate dynamics at play in their intertwined lives. Steiner's revelation unveiled Isabel's true parentage. She was born to a woman he once deeply loved. However, Steiner disowned Isabel because her mother prioritized her people over him. He concealed this confession behind a photo of himself and Isabel's mother on their wedding day. Returning to Valentine, Martin faced a changed dynamic. Valentine suggested he and Isabel start anew in America. Valentine, planning to sell his bar and embark on a new life in Thailand, advised them to leave. Martin agreed, but required substantial funds. To secure their escape, he decided to fight once more, approaching Steiner with the request for participation in the next match. Steiner, realizing that nobody dared to face Martin, proposed that Martin intentionally lose the upcoming fight for financial gain. Agreeing due to financial need, Martin entered the arena where the crowd overwhelmingly bet on his victory. Following the plan, Martin pretended to lose. Unbeknownst to Martin, Valentine had secretly wagered his bar on Martin's victory. Discovering Martin's apparent defeat, Valentine was shocked. It turned out that Restignek aimed to trap Valentine, seeking control of the bar. A dispute ensued when Restignek demanded Valentine's departure. Overhearing, Isabel questioned Martin's loss. Amarillo, with Restignek's group, explained the orchestrated plan to maintain appearances and navigate the complex power dynamics at play. As part of a calculated scheme, Isabel couldn't fathom the unfolding events, leading to a slap from Amarillo, who retaliated forcefully, causing Isabel to collapse. Witnessing Isabel's pain, Valentine reached for his gun, but Restignek swiftly disarmed him and shot both Valentine and Isabel. Applause erupted as Martin, unaware of the tragedy, arrived at the bar. Restignek aimed a gun at him, delivering a fatal shot. Left to die, Martin and Isabel were buried alive by Restignek's order. Against the odds, Martin regained consciousness, clawing his way out of the grave. Resilient, he assisted Isabel's survival, leaving her with the locals before dedicating himself to rigorous training. Consumed by revenge, Martin relentlessly trained day and night, building unwavering determination and strength. Confident in his abilities, he set out one afternoon to reclaim Valentine's bar, now under Steiner's gang's control. Outside, Martin systematically dismantled each of Steiner's men. Inside, he engaged in a brawl, confronting Amarillo. Amid the chaos, Amarillo slipped away and alerted Steiner to Martin's return. Believing Martin sought to steal his gambling earnings, Steiner ordered Amarillo to relocate the money. As Amarillo hurried with bodyguards to the cash register, Martin intervened, triggering a fierce shootout that echoed through the bar, intensifying the long-standing vendetta. Efficiently neutralizing Amarillo's guards, Martin shot Amarillo's hand as he attempted to pack the money. Following this, Martin threw a grenade into the cash register, causing a dramatic explosion. Despite the chaos, he departed without taking a single penny of Steiner's money. In Steiner's office, soldiers prepared for Martin's arrival, armed and poised for combat. Cleverly navigating through an alternate entrance, Martin systematically took down Steiner's men, engaging in confrontations and even shooting at a few soldiers. Upon reaching Steiner's office, Martin opted for a sword, thrusting it into Steiner's stomach, instantly ending his life. Boone entered, challenging Martin, sensing a new conflict on the horizon. Engaged in a fierce hand-to-hand duel, Martin discovered Boone's exceptional self-defense skills as Boone's attacks overwhelmed him. Pinned to a table, Martin swiftly seized his fallen automatic rifle, ending Boone's life with a decisive shot. Pursuing Restignek outside the labor camp, Martin confronted the organized resistance, facing strategically positioned automatic rifles. Despite the odds, he incapacitated Restignek's men with his rifle. Entering a nearby house, Martin dispatched 2 more adversaries. Restignek soon entered, gun aimed at Martin, who in turn had his weapon trained on Restignek. In a tense standoff, both adversaries fired simultaneously, marking a pivotal moment in their final confrontation. Their exchanged shots went astray, and Restignek hastily fled in a jeep. Meanwhile, Martin discovered wedding photos of Steiner and Isabel, along with a letter from Steiner. He promptly sent these to Isabel, who, upon reading the letter, experienced overwhelming joy realizing that Steiner had always acknowledged her as his daughter. In contrast, Restignek struggled to survive in the hostile forest, facing resentment from the locals. Exhausted and cornered by Martin, Restignek challenged him to a hand-to-hand fight, introducing a foreign blade. Despite Restignek's knife injuring Martin, he retaliated with a strategic kick, disarming Restignek and securing victory in their intense confrontation. In a showdown, Martin exacted revenge for Valentine's death by using Restignek's knife against him. The movie's closing scene depicts Harrison visiting Martin, planning to return him to England. However, Martin issues a threat, prompting a deal with Harrison that ensures his freedom from British police pursuit. The tale's moral emerges. Amidst adversity, keep your composure unless it's for a just cause. Stand up for righteousness, unravel family secrets, and when faced with conflict, carry your brand of retribution. Depart with a deal that guarantees freedom, even if it means empty pockets. Thus concludes the story, a blend of resilience, justice, and strategic negotiation,